thanks for everyone for muting their phone. We'll begin by going through, like I said, we're going to start by going through the application process to not only, I'm going to click this off real quick, to not only set up your business account, but also the application process to submit for your certification. So what everyone needs to do is begin by going to this website. It's www.isp.state.il.us. It's the Illinois State Police's website. From there, we want to go down to firearms, and then down to firearm dealer license certification. We want to click on that. It's going to bring you to our firearm dealer license certification program landing page. Here, you're going to see a few things. Here, we'll have our frequently asked questions. They're not there now, but we will be getting those up shortly. You'll have a copy of the statute, if you'd like to read that. And then you have Contact Us. If you click on Contact Us, it'll take you to this page, and you can email this link here if you have any login, username, password, or technical problems with the application process, in the sense of, you know, a field not accepting one of your entries and whatnot. If you have any other problems, technical questions regarding the Act, you can email us or our phone number back. I'm going to go back to the landing page from the Contact Us page. You want to do these in order, 1 through 6. The first one's the pre-application checklist. What this contains is all the information that you're going to need before you begin your application process. You want to have all this stuff in a format at the top, PDF, doc, or what have you, before you begin. You want to make sure they're saved onto your computer, so then you can easily upload them later on in the application process. I'm going to go back. Second is this how-to PowerPoint slide. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. I'm going to walk you through that. It's going to show you how to apply for both your business account, to create one, and to apply for your application to get your certificate. Third are the training requirements. Come in here. There's the training PowerPoint. You click on this link, and then the video. So go back. Next is number 4, the application forms. So that's where it contains all the affidavits you'll need to be completing, and also the safe storage plan. The safe storage plan, you have your requirement, or not requirements now, they're recommendations, but as we do the rules, they're going to become requirements. They're all here to help you, guide you through to develop your safe storage plan for your location. There's also a template here which will help you organize your safe storage plan to make sure that you're submitting all the necessary information so that it's an adequate safe storage plan. Going back, this FDLC signage, click on number 5. There's a link here for the warning signs. And those are what you're going to need to print out, depending on if you're retail or non.
And not use that conference room.
There's different measurements for the warning signs. It's 25 inches by 32 inches for this one, and then it's 8.5 by 14 inches for this video surveillance sign. So what those measurements are for is to make sure that you're in compliance with the law, which state that these have to be in block lettering, the signs, and the letters have to be at least 1 inch or more. So make sure that you measure the letters before you post them at your place of business, so that you're in compliance. Going back, number 6, we'll get to that here in 1 second, but that's where your application is going to be to apply for both your business account, which is the first step, and then we're going to talk about going in here to submit your application. We got to submit this first, or create your business account, and then we will do the application process.
When you have finished recording,
I'm going to open up
or press 1 for more options.
The Sorry, back. We're going to go to this number 2, how to apply PowerPoint. And I want everyone to click here. You can open it up and follow along with me. You also see it on the screen. I'm going to open it up in PowerPoint. So make it a little easier. All right. So once you click that link in number 2, you'll see a PDF version of this PowerPoint slide, and we're going to walk through it together. So on this first page, these are the requirements to complete the application. These are helpful guidance tips so you are able to submit your application successfully. The first is the type of internet browser. You want to make sure you're using one of these. Try to avoid using Microsoft Edge. If you use Microsoft Edge, we've noticed that there's a wrapping, the text wrap doesn't work properly, so it may cause you trouble down the line, so stick with one of these 4. Also, note that there's a 15-minute session timeout. So what this means is once you log into your application, you have to be clicking in the application. If you're not actively clicking and the 15 minutes go by, you're going to be logged off, and the system does not automatically save. The application does not automatically save. So with that being said, make sure that you have everything saved on that checklist onto your desktop and that you're actively clicking within it until you submit payment and you get the email response that you've successfully submitted one. Also, make sure you only have one internet tab or window open while you're completing this. We've noticed that if you have multiple tabs or windows open and you're logged in on another one that you're not clicking in, it will also time you out because you're not clicking in both windows or tabs at the same time. So we'll go over that here in a little bit, but just be mindful that it does not automatically save and that you need to have one window and one tab only open in your internet browser. This is another copy of the checklist. Make sure you have all of them included, all this saved on your desktop before you start the application process. Because of that 15-minute session timeout, you cannot save. So how we got here, we went to our website at the Illinois State Police. We clicked on Firearms, and under Firearms, there's the Firearm Dealer License Certification. And once you click that, it took you to our landing page, and then you're going to complete everything from number 1 to number 6 in order. The first one is that checklist. Then you have the PowerPoint slide, training requirements. Here again, make sure you fill out everything before you get to number 6 to begin the application process. Once you click number 6 down here, what we're first going to do is go through and create the business account registration. You're going to click on that link, and it's going to open up this page on your internet browser. You want to click business. It doesn't matter if you're a retailer or a non-retailer. Every business under the account creation. So you want to check mark that. Select a username or create a username with parameters. And then you also want to add in your email address. And then you'll have to type it in again and follow the rest of the instructions. Make sure you write down your username and then later on your password, because you want to make sure you are able to get back into the system later on. So save those in a safe location.
Did you find it?
Once you submit that information on that last page, you want to open up your email account, whether it's Google, Yahoo, whatever it is, and you're going to get an email account created confirmation page. You're going to need to activate it by clicking to activate the link inside. Once you click it, it's hyperlink, which you're going to click on, and it'll redirect you to a password creation page. You want to enter a password. Here again, store it, and then there's the parameters or the requirements of the password, and keep it in a safe spot. Once you create the password, then you're going to fill out the rest of the business account information, your name, etc., going all the way down, and then continue. Once you click continue, this is it. So that was your business account creation. Everyone has to create a business account before they submit an application. From here, you want to log out of this page, and then we're going to go back to the landing page for the Firearm Dealer License Certification Program and press number 6 again, because we want to get to the second step, and now we're ready to create the application. Everybody on this call is probably, they don't have more than 26 locations, so we're going to select this link. If you do have more than 26, you get 27 or more, you're going to email this address. So for everybody here, should be clicking this link, and that's going to take you to this web page. Notice how there's only one window, internet browser window open, and one tab. We don't have multiple tabs along the across the top here. Since we already created our business account before we selected business and went through, you're going to select this link, this hyperlink right here, because we've already created an account and we want to log in. Type in your username and your password. That's why we wrote them down, and we're storing them in a safe spot so we can have them for later use. So before you continue from this page going forward, just remember it does not automatically save. You cannot save it during the process. You have to finish the entire thing. So this is why it's important to have all the affidavits and everything else that's required on that checklist, your safe storage plan filled out before you continue. You don't want to. You won't have enough time to create it on the fly. So as we continue, after you enter your username and password, we're going to start by entering in this business information. You'll notice that some things pre-populate because of that business account creation that you've already you just did. So now we're in the application, and we're going to fill out all the information that they ask. Note in here on this next page, not this one, I think it's further on, but when they ask you for your tax ID number and your state ID number, it's no longer required. It's not a required field, as you see the title is here. So you want to fill out all this information, and then you can click and finish to add a business contact, or you can click save and add more to add another business contact. But you're required to at least enter one business contact. From here, you want to enter in your primary FFL number, and then you're going to enter in the expiration date. This is going to correspond with your certification that will be generated by us later on. You need to fill out the applicant's name and support information, continuing through here. And then you'll also have another one. It's the responsible person's information. It'll look just like this, but a little bit of different information. We need to have a fax number. It's required. If you don't have one, you can just type in none, and it'll accept it. This is your hours of operation, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday. You have to provide a response in each one of these boxes. Here's the examples, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., whatever your hours are, you're closed or by appointment only. You must be open at least 1 hour during the week. Secondary FFL numbers. If you have a secondary FFL number or multiple, you can add more than 1, 2, 3, how many you have here. If you don't have any, just skip this section. Enter employee names. So you need to make sure before you begin this application you have all your employees' information, FOID card, whatever's required here, FOID expiration dates, aliases, date of birth. If you do not have any employees and you're an owner-operator, so it's just yourself and you're the only employee, enter yourself as the employee. This is retail location determination. It's very important you want to fill these questions or answer these questions accurately. This will not, at the end of this, this will not determine or, pre-populate if you're a retail or non-retail location. You're going to have to select that later on. This is just making sure that you're answering the questions correctly. As you go through this, there may be additional questions that populate. For example, if you answer, you're within 500 feet of a school, it's going to ask you the name and the address of that school. So answer those questions, and then you get down to the bottom, and this is a summary. Very important, select non-retail location or retailer location, depending on what you determine what you are. You're going to select next, and then this is the document upload section. Each one of these, there's a brief description in here, the safe storage plan. We'll go under all certain ones in here, like the disclosure document. What you want to do is you want to click upload, go to wherever you saved that document that it's asking for on your computer, select it, and it'll show up here. There'll be the verbiage, whatever you labeled it as. You want to click, this upload will turn into save, and then from once the save shows up, you want to click it again, so then it's actually saved onto the document upload window or the section. You're going to do that for every document that you need to submit. Next is the information summary page. So this is going to contain all the information that you just typed in and provided us. This is your opportunity to go through, make sure you spelled everything right, your numbers are correct. If you notice there's any mistakes, you can click, along the way, there's edit buttons that if you click that, it'll take you back to that section. You can update it and then come back to the information summary page. Once you're done and you're good with all the information, click confirm, and you'll move on with the process. You're going to read this section, and then click the box, and then type in your name, first, middle, and last. If you don't have a middle, just your first and last name, and then click Pay by e-check. This will take you to the landing page for the payment information. You're going to fill out all these boxes. Read everything, click next, it'll it'll ask you for your customer information and then payment information. Here's an example of a check. Your routing number is over here and your account number follows. You're going to read the terms and conditions, click yes, and then type in your unique verification code. It'll be different than this one, and then submit your payment. Congratulations, at this point, you've submitted it. So this is what you need to do by June 17th to make sure that there's no interruptions with your business. Make sure you keep a copy of this, and you can also print a receipt, or you can save it as a PDF down here at the bottom right corner. If you need any help, or you're going to email us and you get to this point, these numbers on here are very helpful for us to look up your information. So with that email that you created with your business account in the very beginning, it's going to send you a payment confirmation. It's going to show you what you paid. This is an example of a retail location. And then you'll receive another one that gives your submission status. The second one, it'll show that you're pending, because now we have to do stuff on our end to make sure that everything's good to go before we approve it. You'll receive a third one once we approve it. Your status will change from pending to approved. And then the fourth email you'll eventually get is this congratulatory one, where it has a hyperlink in there that you can select, and that's where you can view and print your certificate. So once you click that link after you receive this email, it's going to take you back to this page. We don't need to create another account. We just need to log in. So we're going to click here on this blue hyperlink, and then enter your login and your password information, and you'll be signed in. Once you get to this page, you want to click your certificate, license, and permits tab, and then in this select agency, you're going to use the drop down on the far right, and then select Illinois State Police. You can view your application, print your certificate, see the status, the issue date, and expiration date of your certificate. So I selected View Certificate, and then it'll give you a copy. It'll show you a copy of it. You can print it out. You can save it as a PDF. Just make note of your expiration date. It's matching that primary FFL that you submitted. So going back to number 6 on that landing page, this is where we created the business account. This is where you just submitted your application. And then you have these 2 links down here. This is your account maintenance. So these are things that you do after you submit your application. So you don't need to submit these right now because you just submitted your application. But if you add or remove an employee later on, you'll want to come here and update your information for us. Same with your annual training certificate upload. That concludes the how to apply PowerPoint slide. I'm going to turn the remainder of the call over to Jonathan Ernest, and he'll walk you through.
Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Ernest. I'm the FTIP supervisor, and I'm going to walk through a firearm dealer license certification application. So, after you have completed your business account registration, you'll go to the FDLC application for businesses with 1 to 26 locations. Since I've already created the business account, you'll click here to log in, and you'll sign in with your business account information. Once you've logged in, you'll start your application for certification. It is vitally important that you type the correct information for this business information, as this is what will be displayed on your certification. So you'll fill out all the required fields, starting after the business account information, and then you will fill out your business mailing address, after you've filled out your business mailing address, if the physical address is the same, you'll be able to check this box, and it'll automatically populate what you've already typed, as well as if your business mailing address is also the same. At which point you will enter the business contact information. You'll fill in the business contact information. You must have at least 1 business contact in order to proceed with the application. Once you have completed the information, you can either save and add more business contacts or save and finish. If you've entered that, you'll be prompted to enter your FFL information. After you've entered your FFL number, full FFL number, you'll enter in the expiration date for your FFL. And this information will appear on your certificate. Then you'll hit next at the bottom to proceed to the next part of the application. This is the applicant information, so the individual applying for certification. You'll fill out the date of birth, place of birth, Social Security number, FOID card number. If you are not a resident of Illinois and do not possess a FOID card as the applicant, you must enter 000 and put in an expiration date of 1/1/2000. After you've entered the information for the applicant, you'll be prompted to enter an applicant alias or previous name. If none is applicable, enter none, as it is a required field. At this point, you'll enter in the responsible person information. Again, just like with the applicant information, it'll be the name, date of birth, place of birth, Social Security number, FOID card number, and FOID expiration date. Likewise, you'll be prompted to enter any aliases or previous names of the responsible person. Then, for additional business information, asks for the fax number of the business. Enter none if none applies. Next, you'll be asked to provide the hours of operation or availability of business activity for each day of the week. Just like when you applied for your FFL, please provide at least 1 hour in which you could be contacted by ISP personnel. You'll have to enter an hours of operation for all 7 days of the week. Once you have, if it is the same for every day, at this point you could just copy that initial hours of operation that you entered and then paste into the subsequent field. After you've entered your hours of operation, any secondary FFLs, any licenses for different lines of business at one location, you should enter those at this point. So if you have a type 1 as well as a type 7, this is where you would enter the information for the other FFL located at that address. If you do not have any additional FFLs, you can save and finish, and you continue on to the employee information. Like Sergeant Broughton said, if you are a sole proprietor, you'll enter your information for the employee information, as you are the sole employee. For the training date for completion, this date will be the day that you reviewed the Don't Lie for the Other Guy video and the PowerPoint that we have provided on our website. You can add additional employees as necessary, at which point you will follow down to the retail location determination. You'll answer the question, is your store open to the public for the purposes of selling, transferring, or facilitation of the transfer of a firearm? We've provided 3 scenarios to assist you in making this determination. At which point you'll proceed on to the next part of the application. This is an acknowledgement that effective January 2nd of 2021, If you are a retail location, you will be required to maintain a video security system, and that you acknowledge you must post the sign provided by the department. This is that secondary sign available on the landing page. If your retail location is already compliant with this requirement, you can acknowledge this, or if you are not, state that you are not. Again, another future requirement, January 2nd of 2020, a retail location shall maintain electronic-based record system, and asking if you're currently compliant with this requirement. This electronic-based record system is going to, needs to meet the ATF ruling of 2016-1. And if you are currently compliant, check yes. Again, we have another acknowledgement regarding the electronic-based record system regarding the required time frame for placing firearms into the inventory. On January 2nd of 2020, certified licensees, so this is both retail and non-retail locations, maintaining an inventory for sale or transfer must be connected to an alarm monitoring system, and asking if you're currently compliant with this requirement. At which point you'll proceed into the training acknowledgement, acknowledging that all owners, agents, and employees who sell or conduct firearm transfers have reviewed and completed the training provided, and acknowledging that any new employees, owners, or agents who conduct or sell transfers will be required to complete the training, as well as submit a employee change form. Those are those other maintenance applications to add or remove employees. If you acknowledge, you'll post the sign in section 5-20B. Then if you had a license or certificate or permit to sell, lease, transfer, purchase, or possess firearms issued by the federal government or government of any state, revoked or suspended. Retention of records pursuant to 27 CFR 478.129, you'll keep all records regarding acquisition and disposition of firearms for the required time frame. Again, another acknowledgement, I will keep all video surveillance and sound recordings obtained for a period of not less than 90 days. And an acknowledgement that a photocopy of a buyer or transfer's FOID/CCL card or state-issued driver's license photo identification card will be copied and maintained and attached to the record of sale. At which point you will select the proper fee, whether you are a retail or non-retail location, and proceed into the next part of the application. At this point, you will upload the necessary documents. So for identification document, you'll upload a copy of your FFL license. And you will save the upload. Closure document. This will be your safe storage plan if you are a retail location. If you're not a retail location, you do not need to provide a safe storage plan to the department. Next, you will provide an affidavit for all owners, agents, and employees conducting or selling firearms. You'll save the upload. And finally, you will upload an affidavit stating that your FFL license is valid. At which point you will proceed on to the next part of the application. I'm going to pause for just 1 second right here. Sorry about that. So at this point, you'll be able to review the information that you've submitted for certification. If you need to change anything, or if anything looks incorrect, at this point you can edit it as you go through and review the application. If everything looks good, you'll hit confirm here at the bottom. And then you'll proceed to the electronic signature page. You will enter your name into the field below. And then proceed to pay by e-check. At this point, you'll proceed to the payment type and enter in your payment information.
Good afternoon, this is Jessica Trami. I understand there's a lot of beeping noises. We have tried to shut that off and have been unable to, so I apologize for that. We're going to try to answer some questions at this time. I know one question that we are seeing come across is whether or not the fee is prorated, and the answer to that is no, it is not a prorated fee. You may ask additional questions now if you would like.
Hi, Jessica. Can we ask questions this way, or is there a better way?
You can. We will try to answer your questions as best we can.
Sure. This is Ethan Fawcett, After Hours Computers, Sterling, Illinois. I actually had a question about, I actually have a few questions. The affidavit, I actually looked through all this stuff a few days ago, tried to fill it out. There's an FFL affidavit that you have to fill out.
Yes,
you're familiar with the FFL is valid. A couple of questions. One that is not important, and one that's a little bit more important. On the affidavit, it asks for the FFL number. Are you looking for the first three and the last five? You're looking for the whole thing? The
full FFL number.
Okay, fantastic. And then part two, the more important question on that is, as part of the affidavit, it says this FFL number was issued to me on this date. I can't be the only one. I have no idea what date it was issued. It doesn't say on your FFL what day it's issued. They just mail it to you. How am I supposed to know what the issue date of the FFL is?
Well, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that question.
Nobody else that's filled this out has said anything about how
No.
the expiration date is on my FFL, but there's no
Is it 3 years prior to the expiration?
well, not necessarily. So in my case, no, because they didn't issue mine. They gave me a letter of authorization in the meantime, so it didn't get
Okay.
issued on that first day. It got issued whenever. They don't tell you when they issue it. They just send it to you in the mail. So I can't really put my name and signature and sign that something's the best of my knowledge if I don't know when that is actually being issued. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue.
Okay, we will try to get back to you on that question.
Okay. So part two, when I had that question originally, I wanted to call the phone number for support, and that number at the time that I was on the website, that number was just the tip general line. It was very difficult to get somebody, a person. They wanted me to enter my information like I was doing an automated thing. Is that being changed?
So if you go through the automation and after you enter in your FFL number, if you hit 0, you should get to an operator.
Okay, fantastic. And somebody there will be knowledgeable in these types of things and be able to get a hold of you or whoever if I have questions, for example, like the issue date of the FFL that they won't be able to answer. That's the appropriate way to get that.
Yes, they will take if they cannot answer the question, they will take the question and they will get it to one of us that can.
Okay, fantastic. And then other just clean things that I noticed from the presentation today. The multiple FFL numbers during the application. If I have a CNR FFL, is that something I need to put on that application as well?
No, it is not.
Okay, thank you. And there's as part of the application, there's a check mark box that says the retail location. I'm not a retail location, so this doesn't even necessarily affect me, but a sign is going to be provided to you by the department. Is there signs that are going to be provided to, because I'm hearing a lot about like a file that I have to print out. Well, a file that I have to print out is not a sign. Are you guys going to be providing us with the retail locations with signs?
No, not at this time. The way the Act reads, we will provide you with a file, a downloadable file that you can print.
Okay, and so that's what you're doing. That I know that's a separate part of in the FDLC signage section. But you have to understand, if I'm told I'm going to be provided with a sign, a file isn't a sign; it's a file. Because you guys were talking before about it has to be a certain size and it has to be a certain whatever. I mean, don't you guys think if you guys just made the signs and provided them like it says, that would be a better way to do it?
Well, that's not what the Act says. However, I will take that issue back for consideration.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Hello, Jessica.
Yes.
This is Adam Gonzalez with Kane County Coins in Elburn. I wanted to clarify regarding, you alluded to it earlier, but the fee. So my license expired. I paid the fee this year. I submitted my application. I paid the fee this year. My license expires in August of next year. Will I have to pay a full $1,500 again when I renew my federal license?
That issue will be taken up when we file the rules, and it will be addressed through the rulemaking process.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions?
Could I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, ma'am, basically I build silencers and I have an SOT. So is there a certain percentage if I transfer a few guns a year and I sell mainly silencers out of state, do I need to do this application?
You have a manufacturer's license? What kind of license do you have?
It's an 07 manufacturer's license, and then I have an SOT to go with it. So I basically manufacture silencers, I do engraving, and I ship out of state, and I'll do occasional transfers when people want, you know, they ship guns here, they want me to transfer them to them, but I don't have a retail, and I rarely get a gun for someone unless they call me and tell me what they want, build one for them. But the majority of my sales are out of state through silencer sales.
Yeah, I will verify with our legal office, but I believe the answer to that question was that you do not need to be certified under this act.
Okay, is there a certain percentage so I can figure what my transfers, you know, sales are compared to my out of ship out of state? I mean, is there a percentage of business that if I do?
Okay, so I want to double check. So I want to understand something. So are you just transferring as a manufacturer to out of state, or are you also selling to individuals?
I do FFL transfers. I have people, I'm listed as a FFL, so I have people, I do transfers for them, firearms. So.
Okay, so that answer is going to be different then.
Okay, I do occasional transfers, not a lot, but most of my work goes out of state, but I just didn't know if there was a percentage of, like if 20% of my business was under transfers and the rest was out of state. Is there, if I do one transfer, do I have to do this, or do I have to do 50, or how does that work?
No, there is no percentage at this time. There is no percentage breakdown. So if you engage in that business even one time, you would be required to be certified.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
Hi, Jessica.
Yes.
My husband and I are both on the license. Do both of us have to fill out a separate affidavit, or can we put both of our names, my husband and I's both name on it, and have that notarized?
You may go ahead and put both of your names on the same affidavit.
Wonderful, thank you. The other thing is a two-sided paper or 2 pages. I'm not really good with computers. How do I upload this or store it somewhere so I can upload it onto the form?
Okay, so how would you normally attach it?
I'd probably.
You can attach it. You can attach it as individual pages. When you get to that document upload, you can upload one side in one file and the second side in another file if you need to do that.
Oh, it'll let you do that.
It will not let you?
Oh. No,
I'm asking. Yes, it will
it?
let you do that.
Okay, wonderful,
Okay.
thank you. And FOID card.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to photocopy each FOID card and attach it to the 4473?
Yes, that is correct. That is in the act.
Purchase a scanner for out there. Oh, so I have to it won't work on my telephone? On my cell phone? No, because I can't attach it to the 4473.
Right.
So I need to go buy a scanner. All right, thank you.
Okay. We have a few more minutes. Are there any additional questions?
Just pointing out, there are some questions in there. I don't know if you're looking at that or not, but there are some questions in there.
In the where? I'm sorry.
The chat with all section of the WebEx. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so there was a question, how do we prove we did the training video in PowerPoint? So that is you're signing an affidavit indicating that you and or your employees have completed that. It is a legal document that you're making a statement under. So there is a question, do non-state of Illinois employees need to submit fingerprints? We are not specifically asking for fingerprints. We're asking for you to conduct your background check and tell us what that included. Hopefully that answers that question. The signed PDF files are on the website. If you're having any difficulty with that, please let us know in an email. There's a question, do you have to be licensed to do internet sales? Yes, you do. There's a question, will this apply to the Walmarts and Rural Kings who are headquartered out of state? Yes, it does apply to any retailers, retail stores within Illinois, operating in Illinois and selling in Illinois. So there is a question regarding gunsmith only. We are awaiting a final response from our legal regarding that. In the meantime, you can also consult your own attorneys regarding that particular question. There's a question as to when the rules will be completed. That can be a lengthy process. I know the department is hoping to have rules filed in the next few weeks, but I'm not certain on any dates and timeframes at this time. So there was a question that they did not see a tab to download background checks in the application. That would be included in that upload section that Jonathan showed you earlier. And to clarify that, looks like there was another question that is only for out-of-state employees, the background check. There's a question regarding, does retail license apply to auctioneers? That would depend on what that auctioneer is doing. If they are actually the seller of the firearm. So if someone wants to ask a more detailed question about that. So there's a question about what is the deadline for submitting application. So on July 18th, you will need to be compliant with the Act. And that means you either have to be certified by the Illinois State Police or you have submitted your application and 30 days have passed, and you may still operate as if you have been certified.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, I'm reading the chat box here a little bit. I just want
Yes.
clarification in case I missed this previously.
Okay.
My FFL expires when? December of this year.
Yes.
So if I do this application now, when my FFL expires, I have to do it again and pay an additional $1,500?
You will need to submit a renewal application with regard to the fee that is going to be addressed in the rulemaking process.
Okay, and so we're unsure about how that rulemaking process is going to pan out, essentially.
Well, I'm not certain either, but the rules will be submitted for public comment. Those public comments will be taken into consideration as the commission reviews the rules, and there'll be a first reading and a second reading, and then I can't, depending on how that goes, they may be adjusted and resubmitted, but it could be a lengthy process.
Okay, now
you will have the ability to comment and provide your thoughts on the rules.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? If I was not open to the public, but a membership business only, would that exclude me from this as well?
It will not exclude you from it, but it may put you in as non-retail, but does that answer your question?
Yeah, so if I were to submit all this and put myself down as a non-retail membership only business,
Yes.
when would I know if that's going to fly or not?
Well, I can't give you an exact answer on that. Obviously, we will have several applications to review. But again, nothing that you answer throughout the application process will automatically deny your application. So once you submit your application and 30 days have passed and we have not acted on that, you can assume that you may still operate at that point. If we have a need to contact you for additional information or a portion of your application is rejected, you will be able to make corrections at that time.
Okay.
And you would still be able to operate.
Okay, so and the other question I had for you was if I were to cease to sell firearms to Illinois residents and only did internet out-of-state business, would that exempt me from this?
I do not believe so, but I will confer with our legal office.
Okay. All right. We do a lot of mail order stuff anyway, and I specialize in modifications, CNC work, and stuff like that as well. So a very small portion is actually from the sale of guns, you know. So we can deal with that later. I think that was it. Thank you very much for answering the questions I had.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we are going to close the WebEx. We have your questions. I know more are coming in through the chat. And as we go through those, we will try to get out the answers and post some frequently asked questions on the website. And if we need to, we can email those out to everyone as well, so you are aware of the questions and answers that we have been gathering. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Jessica.